Have you ever looked at a map of Indonesia and noticed a long stretch of coastline embracing the breathtaking waters of the Gulf of Tomini? Hidden within that extraordinary landscape lies a region that rarely dominates international headlines, yet quietly holds one of the greatest untold stories of Indonesia. This is Parigi Moutong, a land where the equator crosses ancient soil, where mountains meet the sea in spectacular harmony, and where generations of resilient people have transformed challenges into opportunities. Many people know Indonesia through the towering skyline of Jakarta, the beaches of Bali, or the temples of Java. Yet the true soul of this vast archipelago cannot be understood without exploring places like Parigi Moutong. Here, nature has written a masterpiece that stretches across more than 6,231 square kilometres. It is a region blessed with extraordinary geographical diversity, remarkable cultural heritage, and a strategic position along the eastern coastline of Central Sulawesi. Parigi Moutong stands proudly in Central Sulawesi province, with its administrative capital located in the district of Parigi. From the peaceful shores of Sausu in the south to the northern frontier bordering Gorontalo province, the regency extends for hundreds of kilometres along one of the most beautiful coastlines in Indonesia. Every sunrise paints the waters of the Gulf of Tomini with brilliant shades of gold and crimson, while every sunset reminds its people that they live in one of the nation's most extraordinary natural landscapes. The Gulf of Tomini itself is among Indonesia's greatest marine treasures. Surrounded by lush mountains and tropical forests, its calm waters support an abundance of marine biodiversity. Coral reefs flourish beneath crystal-clear waves, colourful fish weave through underwater gardens, and coastal communities have depended upon these rich waters for generations. For countless families, the sea is not merely a source of income, it is a source of identity, tradition, and hope. Parigi Moutong is also one of the very few places in Indonesia touched by the equator. This invisible line, circling the centre of the Earth, places the Regency in a unique geographical position shared by only a limited number of regions across the country. Standing beneath the equator is more than a scientific curiosity. It is a reminder that this land occupies a place of global significance, connecting the northern and southern hemispheres, while symbolising balance between humanity and nature. The climate reflects this privileged location. Throughout the year, warm tropical temperatures generally range between 23 and 33 degrees Celsius. Rainfall remains relatively consistent, nourishing forests, rivers, plantations, and fertile agricultural land. Unlike regions that experience dramatic seasonal changes, Parigi Moutong enjoys an environment where life continues to flourish month after month, allowing farmers and fishermen to sustain livelihoods deeply connected to the rhythms of nature. Its coastline stretches approximately 472 kilometres, an astonishing distance that offers endless opportunities for fisheries, marine transportation, tourism, and coastal development. Every bay, every beach, and every fishing village tells a story of perseverance. Boats leave before dawn, returning with the ocean's bounty as generations have done for centuries. Children grow up listening to stories carried by sea breezes, learning that success is built not through shortcuts, but through patience, courage, and relentless hard work. As of 2021, Parigi Moutong was home to more than 443,000 people. Behind that number are hundreds of thousands of dreams, families, entrepreneurs, teachers, farmers, fishermen, students, and community leaders, working together to build a brighter future. Every village contributes its own traditions. Every district adds its own colours to the rich cultural tapestry that defines this remarkable regency. Its strategic location further enhances its importance. To the north, Parigi Moutong connects with Bohol, Toli-Toli, and Gorontalo province. To the east lies the vast Gulf of Tomini, opening gateways toward marine trade and maritime opportunity. To the south, it borders Poso and Sigi, while Donggala Regency and the city of Palu stand to the west. These connections have shaped Parigi Moutong into an important crossroads within Central Sulawesi, where people, cultures, commerce, and ideas have met for generations. Yet geography alone does not define greatness. The true strength of Parigi Moutong lives within its people. Across fertile valleys and coastal villages, communities have learned to thrive despite changing times. Farmers cultivate fertile fields nourished by tropical rains. Fishermen venture into the calm waters before sunrise with unwavering determination. Small businesses continue to grow through resilience and innovation. Families pass down traditions that strengthen identity while embracing education and modern development. This spirit of resilience did not appear overnight. It was forged through decades of determination, sacrifice, and an unwavering belief that their homeland deserved the opportunity to govern its own future. Long before Parigi Moutong officially became a regency, ordinary citizens were already united by an extraordinary dream. They believed that development should reach their communities, that local voices deserved to be heard, and that future generations deserved better opportunities. That dream would eventually become one of the most inspiring chapters in the history of Central Sulawesi, and that remarkable journey had only just begun. That journey did not begin inside the halls of government. It began in the hearts of ordinary people. It began with conversations held under simple roofs, in village meeting halls, on dusty fields, and among community leaders who refused to believe that their future should be decided without their voices being heard. They understood that meaningful change would never arrive on its own. It had to be pursued with patience, unity, and unwavering determination. On June 8, 1963, an important milestone was reached with the formation of the Committee for the Establishment of a New Regency. This was far more than an administrative initiative. It represented a collective movement born from the aspirations of youth leaders, respected elders, intellectuals, and citizens from every walk of life. They were united by one belief: the people of the eastern coast of Central Sulawesi deserved stronger local governance and greater opportunities for development. The movement was never fueled by personal ambition. It was driven by a shared vision, a vision that every child should have better educational opportunities, a vision that infrastructure should reach remote communities, a vision that public services should become more accessible, a vision that local resources should create prosperity for the people who had cared for this land for generations. Every great achievement in history begins with a dream that seems impossible. The people of Parigi Moutong chose not to surrender to impossibility. Instead, they transformed hope into action. As the years passed, their determination only grew stronger. On December 23, 1965, another historic milestone emerged with the establishment of the East Coast Regional Development Foundation through Notarial Deed number 33 of 1965. This foundation became one of the driving forces behind the campaign for regional autonomy, serving not only as an organizational body, but also as a source of financial support for the long and demanding struggle ahead. Its creation demonstrated something remarkable. The people were not waiting for others to solve their problems. They were investing in their own future. Communities contributed resources, energy, ideas, and commitment because they believed their children deserved to inherit a stronger and more prosperous homeland. History often celebrates dramatic moments, but true progress is usually built through countless quiet sacrifices that rarely make headlines. Parents who attended meetings after long days of farming, community leaders who traveled great distances to advocate for their region, volunteers who devoted years of effort without expecting recognition. These were the people who laid the foundations of modern Parigi Moutong. The journey unfolded through three defining phases. The first phase began in 1963, when political parties and representatives from across society gathered at Tororanga Field in Parigi. It was a rare and powerful display of unity. Different backgrounds, different professions, and different perspectives came together for one common purpose. They understood that when a community speaks with one voice, its message becomes impossible to ignore. Years later, the second phase arrived in 1999 through the issuance of a memorandum by the Regional People's Representative Council of Donggala Regency. This official support represented a significant breakthrough. What had once been an aspiration carried by citizens was now gaining institutional recognition. Momentum continued to build. Then came the third and perhaps most decisive phase. On Sunday, July 1st, 1999, delegates representing the movement met with the regent of Donggala and later with the governor of Central Sulawesi. They presented their hopes, their research, and their vision for a new administrative region capable of accelerating development across the eastern coastline. Those meetings were not merely formalities. They symbolized decades of perseverance, finally reaching the highest levels of regional leadership. Behind every proposal were thousands of families hoping for improved schools. Behind every document were fishermen dreaming of better ports. Behind every discussion were farmers seeking stronger infrastructure to connect their harvests to wider markets. Behind every signature stood generations who believed that their homeland deserved the chance to flourish on its own terms. The struggle required patience, measured not in weeks or months, but in decades. Nearly 40 years had passed since the earliest efforts began. Many of the original pioneers never had the opportunity to witness the final victory. Yet their vision never faded. Instead, it inspired new generations to continue the mission with even greater determination. Finally, in 2002, history changed forever. On March 11th of that year, Indonesia's House of Representatives convened a plenary session to deliberate the establishment of 19 new regencies and 3 new cities across the nation. Among those proposals stood the long-awaited aspiration of Parigi Moutong. For the people who had carried this dream for nearly 4 decades, this was a defining moment. It represented the possibility that years of sacrifice, persistence, and unity were about to bear fruit. Then came April 10th, 2002, a date forever etched into the history of Central Sulawesi. On that day, the House of Representatives officially enacted Law No. 10 of 2002, formally establishing Parigi Moutong Regency as part of Central Sulawesi Province. It was more than the creation of a new administrative boundary. It was the realization of a dream that had survived generations. It was proof that determination can outlast obstacles. It was evidence that communities united by hope possessed extraordinary strength. Only a few months later, on July 10, 2002, another historic chapter unfolded. Governor Professor H. Aminuddin Ponulele officially inaugurated Dr. H. Longki Janggola as the first acting regent of Parigi Moutong in the town of Parigi. For many, the ceremony marked the end of a long struggle, but in truth, it marked the beginning of an even greater responsibility. Now the challenge was no longer about creating a regency. The challenge was about building a future worthy of the sacrifices that had made its existence possible. And that future would depend not only on government or policy, but on the determination of every citizen to transform one of Indonesia's youngest regencies into one of its brightest success stories. The story of Parigi Moutong did not end with its official establishment. In many ways, that historic achievement was only the first page of an entirely new chapter. Building a region is never accomplished by signing a law or drawing new borders on a map. Those actions may define a territory, but they do not define its future. A prosperous future is built one road at a time, one school at a time, one hospital at a time, one business at a time, one family at a time. That is the real challenge every young regency must face. For Parigi Moutong, the opportunity was enormous. Nature had already provided an extraordinary foundation. Now it was time for people to transform that natural wealth into lasting prosperity. Stretching across fertile valleys, rolling hills, dense tropical forests, and an impressive 472 kilometers of coastline, Parigi Moutong possesses one of the richest natural landscapes in Central Sulawesi. Every part of this regency tells a different story. Inland areas are blessed with fertile agricultural land, while coastal communities enjoy direct access to one of Indonesia's richest marine ecosystems. This remarkable combination has shaped the identity of the region for generations. Agriculture is not simply an economic activity here, it is a way of life. Across vast stretches of fertile land, farmers cultivate rice fields that shimmer beneath the tropical sun. Coconut palms sway gently in the coastal breeze. Cacao plantations produce beans that contribute to Indonesia's position as one of the world's leading cocoa producers. Corn, bananas, cloves, coffee, and various tropical fruits thrive in soils enriched by volcanic history and abundant rainfall. Every harvest represents months of patience. Every field reflects generations of knowledge passed from parents to children. Every successful planting season becomes another reminder that prosperity often begins with perseverance. Beyond the farms lies another priceless treasure, the sea. The Gulf of Tomini is widely recognized as one of Indonesia's richest marine environments. Its relatively calm waters support countless species of fish, coral reefs, sea turtles, and other marine life. These ecosystems are not only beautiful, they are essential to the livelihoods of thousands of families who have depended on the ocean for generations. Long before modern technology reached these shores, local fishermen already understood the rhythm of the tides, the changing winds, and the delicate balance between taking from nature and protecting it for future generations. That traditional wisdom remains one of the region's greatest strengths. It reminds us that sustainable development is not a modern invention. For many communities in Parigi Moutong, it has always been a way of life. The region's tropical climate further strengthens its agricultural and marine potential. Positioned near the equator, temperatures remain warm throughout the year, generally ranging between 23 and 33 degrees Celsius. Monthly rainfall averages around 100 to 200 millimeters, creating conditions that support year-round farming while continuously replenishing rivers, forests, and groundwater. Few places enjoy such natural consistency. Where other regions struggle with harsh winters, prolonged droughts, or unpredictable seasonal extremes, Parigi Moutong benefits from a climate that allows life to flourish almost every month of the year. This stability creates enormous opportunities for agriculture, aquaculture, ecotourism, and sustainable investment. Yet the greatest resource of Parigi Moutong cannot be measured in hectares, kilometers, or tons of harvest. Its greatest resource is its people. Behind every successful plantation stands a hard-working family. Behind every fishing boat is a crew willing to brave unpredictable seas before sunrise. Behind every classroom is a teacher determined to prepare the next generation. Behind every small business is an entrepreneur who refuses to give up despite challenges. Progress is never created by natural resources alone. History has shown that countries rich in minerals can remain poor. Regions blessed with fertile land can still struggle. What truly transforms a place is the character of its people. Parigi Moutong continues to demonstrate that resilience, cooperation, and optimism are far more valuable than any resource hidden beneath the ground. Its communities understand that development is not only about economic growth, it is also about preserving culture. Throughout the Regency, traditions remain deeply rooted in everyday life. Local customs continue to shape community relationships, family values, and social harmony. Cultural celebrations, traditional arts, local cuisine, and indigenous wisdom continue to enrich the identity of the region while strengthening the bonds between generations. In an era where globalization often encourages uniformity, Parigi Moutong reminds us that preserving cultural heritage is not resisting progress, it is strengthening identity. Because a society that remembers its roots walks into the future with greater confidence. As infrastructure continues to improve, roads connect communities that were once isolated. Better transportation opens access to education, healthcare, tourism, and commerce. Markets become more accessible. Businesses find new customers. Young people gain greater opportunities to pursue higher education while remaining connected to the communities that shaped them. These improvements may seem ordinary, but for families living in remote villages, they can change the course of an entire generation. A shorter journey to school can mean a brighter future. A better road can mean higher incomes for farmers. Reliable transportation can mean faster medical care when every second matters. This is how development quietly transforms lives, not through grand speeches, but through countless everyday improvements that create lasting opportunity. And as Indonesia continues to grow as one of the world's most dynamic nations, Parigi Moutong stands ready to contribute far more than many people realize. Its strategic location, abundant natural resources, hard-working population, and extraordinary biodiversity place it among the regions with significant long-term potential. The question is no longer whether Parigi Moutong has what it takes to succeed. The real question is how far this remarkable regency can rise when its people, its natural wealth, and its vision for the future continue moving forward together. The future of Parigi Moutong is not written in stone. It is written every single day by the choices of its people. Every student who studies late into the night, every farmer who prepares the soil before sunrise, every fisherman who sails into the Gulf of Tomini with faith that the sea will provide, every entrepreneur who opens a small shop with nothing more than determination and hope, every public servant who chooses integrity over convenience. These are the people shaping the next chapter of this remarkable regency. For decades, Parigi Moutong has quietly grown while much of the world looked elsewhere. Yet history has taught us something extraordinary. Some of the greatest places are not those that receive the most attention. They are the places that continue moving forward even when nobody is watching. That quiet determination has become one of Parigi Moutong's greatest strengths. Its people understand that true progress is rarely instant. It is built step by step, generation by generation, dream by dream. Today, Parigi Moutong possesses enormous opportunities across multiple sectors. Agriculture continues to provide the backbone of the local economy, but its future extends far beyond farming alone. Its vast coastline offers tremendous potential for sustainable fisheries, marine industries, and coastal tourism. Its tropical forests contain rich biodiversity that must be protected, not only for Indonesia, but for the world. Its strategic location along the Gulf of Tomini places it within one of the country's most valuable maritime regions. Its young population represents another priceless asset. Young people are not simply inheriting Parigi Moutong, they are redefining it. They are embracing education, technology, entrepreneurship, and innovation, while remaining connected to the traditions that have guided their communities for generations. Imagine what becomes possible when modern knowledge meets centuries of local wisdom. Imagine fishermen using advanced navigation while protecting traditional fishing grounds. Imagine farmers combining sustainable techniques with digital technology to improve productivity. Imagine young entrepreneurs introducing local products to international markets through online platforms. Imagine ecotourism that creates prosperity while preserving forests, coral reefs, and coastal ecosystems. This is not an impossible dream. It is a realistic vision built upon the strengths that already exist. The Gulf of Tomini itself could become one of Southeast Asia's most recognized destinations for marine tourism. Its clear waters, thriving coral reefs, diverse marine life, and peaceful coastal scenery possess extraordinary appeal for travelers seeking authentic experiences beyond crowded tourist destinations. Around the world, people spend thousands of kilometers searching for places that remain untouched by mass tourism. Parigi Moutong already possesses many of those qualities. Its challenge is not creating beauty. Nature has already done that. The challenge is protecting that beauty while allowing local communities to benefit from it responsibly. Sustainable development is more than an economic strategy. It is a promise that future generations will inherit healthy forests instead of barren hills, clean oceans instead of polluted coastlines, thriving fisheries instead of depleted waters, prosperous communities instead of forgotten villages. That balance between development and conservation will determine the legacy of this generation, because economic growth means little if it destroys the very resources that made growth possible. Parigi Moutong reminds us that nature is not an obstacle to development. Nature is the foundation of development. Its forests regulate water supplies. Its rivers nourish agriculture. Its coastline supports fisheries. Its biodiversity attracts scientists, researchers, and travelers from around the world. Protecting these natural treasures is not simply an environmental responsibility. It is an investment in the future. Education will also play an essential role. Every classroom has the potential to shape future doctors, engineers, teachers, entrepreneurs, scientists, artists, and leaders. Every child sitting behind a school desk today may one day lead a company, discover a scientific breakthrough, establish a successful business, or serve their community with integrity. Human potential has no geographical limits. Talent is not determined by where someone is born. Opportunity is created when education, determination, and vision come together. That is why investing in people remains the greatest investment any region can make. Roads may connect villages, bridges may connect rivers, but education connects generations. It allows knowledge to travel farther than any highway ever could. As Indonesia continues its journey toward becoming one of the world's leading economies, regions like Parigi Moutong will play an increasingly important role. National progress is never built by major cities alone. It depends upon the strength of every province, every regency, every village, and every community working together. The story of Indonesia is not only the story of Jakarta, it is also the story of Parigi Moutong. It is the story of farmers whose harvest feeds the nation. It is the story of fishermen whose dedication sustains coastal communities. It is the story of teachers inspiring children to dream beyond what previous generations believed possible. It is the story of families who continue believing that tomorrow can be better than today. Perhaps that is the greatest lesson this remarkable regency offers the world. Greatness is not measured by how often a place appears in the headlines. Greatness is measured by the character of its people, by their resilience during difficult times, by their courage to pursue ambitious dreams, by their willingness to protect nature while building prosperity, by their determination to create opportunities for future generations. Parigi Moutong may not yet be known by everyone across the globe, but history has shown that extraordinary places often begin as hidden treasures, and hidden treasures never remain hidden forever. As more people discover its breathtaking coastline, its fertile landscapes, its remarkable history, and the unwavering spirit of its communities, Parigi Moutong is steadily earning the recognition it deserves. This is more than a regency on the map of Indonesia. It is a living testament to resilience, a symbol of unity, a land where the equator meets the sea, a place where history was shaped by perseverance rather than privilege, a homeland where nature and humanity continue writing an inspiring story together. And perhaps, years from now, when people speak about the regions that helped shape Indonesia's future, the name Parigi Moutong will no longer be one of the nation's best-kept secrets. It will stand proudly as one of its brightest examples of what can be achieved when extraordinary natural beauty is matched by extraordinary human determination. And perhaps the most remarkable truth about Parigi Moutong is this: its greatest wealth cannot be counted. It cannot be measured by the length of its coastline. It cannot be calculated by the size of its territory. It cannot be fully expressed through population statistics or economic reports. Its greatest wealth lives inside the hearts of its people. A place becomes extraordinary not because it possesses mountains, oceans, forests, or fertile land. Many places have those gifts. A place becomes extraordinary when its people choose hope over fear, when they choose unity over division, when they choose hard work over excuses, when they choose to leave something better for the next generation. That is exactly what the people of Parigi Moutong have continued to do, generation after generation. Long before the Regency officially existed, they believed in a future that others could not yet see. They organized, they persevered, they waited, they sacrificed, they never abandoned their dream. Today, every government office, every school, every marketplace, every bridge, and every village stands as a reminder that meaningful progress is never handed to a community. It is earned. The world often celebrates places that are already famous, but some of the most inspiring destinations are still waiting to be discovered. Parigi Moutong is one of them. For travelers, it offers peaceful beaches where the morning sun rises over the calm waters of the Gulf of Tomini. For divers, it promises colorful coral reefs filled with extraordinary marine life. For photographers, it presents endless landscapes where mountains embrace the sea. For researchers, it offers fascinating biodiversity and one of Indonesia's unique equatorial regions. For investors, it holds significant opportunities in agriculture, fisheries, tourism, and sustainable development. For Indonesia, it represents something even greater. It represents possibility, because every successful nation is built upon the success of its regions. When communities grow stronger, provinces become stronger. When provinces become stronger, the nation becomes stronger. Parigi Moutong is one important thread in the enormous fabric that forms the Republic of Indonesia. Its story reminds us that development is not a competition between regions. It is a shared journey. Every bridge constructed in a rural village strengthens the nation. Every child who receives a quality education strengthens the nation. Every fisherman returning safely to shore strengthens the nation. Every farmer producing food for millions strengthens the nation. Every entrepreneur creating new jobs strengthens the nation. Every act of integrity strengthens the nation. This is how countries rise, not through one extraordinary individual, but through millions of ordinary people performing extraordinary acts every single day. That spirit is visible throughout Parigi Moutong. It can be seen in the smiles of children walking to school. It can be heard in the engines of fishing boats leaving before dawn. It can be felt in the determination of farmers tending fields beneath the tropical sun.